Bernadette here. Today's yoga practice is going to focus on the low back, sacrum, and hips. In particular, we're going to strengthen around the low back, sacrum, and hips, and then also stretch so that we have resilience in that area. This is a great practice if you are a commuter, you spend a lot of time sitting or driving, or if you're just looking for a little bit more strength and resilience in that area. So let's go ahead and get started on our knees, standing on our knees. And this first practice is called Buddrosasana. It's a really beautiful pose to warm up our backs and our other joints, our shoulders, stuff like that. So stand on your knees and have your knees about hips width apart, so just a couple inches apart. Relax your arms down by your sides. And let's just take a couple of full breaths together before we actually begin moving. So wherever you are in your breath cycle, take an inhale, and then a nice long exhale. And inhale. As you inhale, feel yourself lifting a little bit taller through the crown of the head. So just feel that lengthening action on inhale. And then as you exhale, nice, long, smooth exhale as you draw your belly muscles in towards your spine. And that'll just be our default way of breathing as we move through these postures. So exhaling, drawing the belly in. And then on your next inhale, you can begin to relax your belly. As you inhale, you're going to sweep your arms out to the sides and up. Feel yourself stretching long, feel the chest expanding. And then on exhale, belly draws in towards your spine. As you sweep your hands behind you, coming to resting your chest on your thighs, your hips to your heels and your forehead down, and then your hands come behind you. Inhale, filling up your chest with breath as you lift the chest and sweep the arms out to the sides and up. Come back to that standing on the knees position, and then exhale, bending forward to child's pose with your arms behind. And then let's do 4 more like that. So inhale, moving at the pace of your breathing. So let your breathing guide your movement. So the breathing is in charge, the movement follows. Exhale, we bend. And then 3 more times. Feel your breath guiding you. Feel all those movements, the lifting of the torso and the sweeping of the arms happening within the pace of your breathing. Feel your back gently stretching as you bend forward. And then finish up one last round. Inhaling, lift your chest, feel the sweep of your shoulders across your back. And then on exhale, we bend forward and let our back stretch. So go ahead here, relax your arms down by your sides and rest your forehead down and just let your back rest. And take a couple of full inhales and long exhales. And then when you're ready, walk your hands out front. And we're going to rock our bodies forward and meet on our bellies, please. So come onto your belly. And you can just have your hands to the ground, kind of by your rib cage. And you can have your forehead down here. So we're just going to start with simple Buddrosasana, low Cobra Pose, where we just lift the chest. But what I want you to do as we go through this is, rather than using your hands to press your back, and this is kind of a good example of that, I don't know if you can see, we're going to lift the chest and traction with the hands. So now I'm using all my back muscles, and there's no actual weight in my hands at all. I'm not pressing with my hands. So bring your forehead to the ground, and we'll just keep that in mind as we move. Toes are down, toes are going to stay down for now. On your next inhale, pull back on the hands a little bit like traction. As you lift the front of the chest forward and up, feel your back muscles engage, and then as you exhale, relax down. If there's ever like discomfort or anything here, just limit your range of motion a little bit, so come up a little bit less. The goal is just to begin to engage our back muscles here. We'll do that twice more. So inhale, pulling back on the hands, lift the front of the chest forward and up. Shoulders can draw back a little bit. And then exhale, relax down. And then one more time. Inhale, lift your chest. And then exhale, relax. Now take a moment here to just relax and take a breath. Now we're going to add some legs. So we'll do 3 more repetitions, but we'll add the raising of both legs. So bringing your forehead back to the ground. On this next inhale, remember we're never pressing with our hands. Lift the front of the chest forward and up as you raise both legs up and off the ground. So the chest can be a little bit higher than your feet, and see if you can get your thighs off the ground now. And then as you exhale, relax down. Inhale, drop back on the hands and lift your head, chest, and shoulders and both legs. Feel your back muscles working a little bit harder. And exhale, relax. And then we'll do that one more time. Inhaling, lift both legs and lift your chest. And exhaling to relax. So one more time, we'll take 1 or 2 breaths here and relax our backs. And this is a good little tip actually. So as you inhale, feel your belly pressing against the ground and feel how that kind of helps to relax and sort of spread out your back a little bit. Okay, so we're going to do Vimanasana now, and we'll do 3 repetitions, so we'll keep our little pattern. But this one's a little bit more involved, so if you need to watch the first one, you can. So bring your forehead back to the ground, and you're going to bring your toes together to touch. So toes and legs are together on the floor. On this next inhale, we're raising our chest, we're raising both legs, and we're taking our feet wide. And then as you exhale, stay lifted in the position, but touch your toes and your knees together so that the legs are right up against one another. And then as you inhale, lift a little bit higher as you take your feet wide again. And then exhale, relax back down to the starting position. So that was one. We're just going to do 2 more. So take a breath. Now that we sort of have the movements down. And then on your next inhale, raise your head, chest, and shoulders. Raise both legs and take your feet wide. As you exhale, squeeze the legs together so that your toes and your knees touch. As you inhale, lift a little bit higher as you take your feet wide again. And then exhale, relax back down to the starting position. So try to take your time with these, even though they feel like a little bit more work. So we're still using the pace of our breathing as best we can. We'll do that one more time. So inhale, raise your chest. Raise both legs, taking your feet wide. Stay to exhale. Stay lifted, but touch your toes and your knees. So feel your inner thighs squeezing towards one another. Inhale, lift a little bit higher with your chest. Take your feet wide. And then exhale, relax down. And this time we'll rest for like 3 or 4 breaths before we move on. So pause here and relax. Let your back relax, and just like we did last time, if it feels okay for you to kind of gently press your belly down towards the ground and let your back spread out, you can. So just take 1 more breath here. And then on your next inhale, when you're ready, let's press back up through tabletop position, please. And we're going to go to Chakravakasana, which is going to stretch our backs after they did all that work. So set up in tabletop position. Make sure that you stack your joints. Knees are beneath your hips. Wrists are beneath your shoulders. As you inhale, pull back on the hands a little bit, almost like traction again, lifting the front of the chest forward and up and drawing the shoulders back. And then as you exhale, pull your belly muscles in towards your spine. Watch how my low back is rounding. Shift your hips all the way back towards your heels and stretch your back. Bring your forehead down, bring your elbows down. As you inhale, lead with the front of your chest as you come back forward and up, lifting the chest, drawing the shoulders back. And then as you exhale, tighten the belly muscles, rounding into your low spine, beginning to bend your elbows and drop your head as you shift your hips back towards your heels, like child's pose. And then let's do 4 more like that. So catch your breath again, reestablish that rhythm of moving at the pace of your breathing. If you've lost it, no worries. Just come right back to it in this posture. We'll do 3 more times. Inhaling, lift. And exhaling, press back. Taking your time with these, feel your back stretching. And hopefully that feels really nice for your back after your back just did all that work. So finishing up your last 1 or 2 rounds here, we'll meet in child's pose. And we'll pause there for a moment. And rest our backs. All right, so when you're ready, we're going to transition and come onto our backs, please. So come onto your back. And we're going to flow through a couple of postures here. So again, you can always watch the first one if you need to, and then finish up the next several repetitions with me. So what we'll do is we're going to plant our feet and have our arms down by our sides, palms down. We'll begin with bridge pose here. So on inhale, pressing into the feet, we'll raise the hips, slowly rolling the spine up 1 vertebra at a time, coming into that nice gentle back bend. Feel the stretch for the front of the hips, a little bit of squeeze for our glutes and our legs and our back. And then as you exhale, slowly lower your spine down, bringing your low back and hips back to the ground. Then as you inhale, listen carefully, we're going to pick up our feet and raise our heels up towards the ceiling and raise our arms up and back overhead. Okay, almost like an upside down down dog, stretching the legs and reaching the arms back. As you exhale, bend your knees, lower down your arms. Bring your feet back to the ground. Inhale, nice and slow, come back up into that bridge pose. So feel that stretch for the front and the little squeeze for the back. And then as you exhale, slowly roll down. Inhale, raise your heels and your arms. Press up. This one's called Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. Exhale, bend your knees, lower your arms. We'll do this twice more. So planting your feet down on inhale. Go ahead and lift your hips, come back up into bridge pose. Exhale and slowly roll down. Inhale, raise your heels, raise your arms. Big stretch for the backs of the legs. By the way, don't worry if they don't come all the way straight. If there's a little bend in your knees, but you're still getting a good stretch, then keep that bend. Don't force it. One more time, exhale, bring your feet back to the ground, bring your hands back to the ground. On inhale, press into the feet, raise the hips, come on up into bridge pose. Exhale, slowly roll down. Inhale, heels and arms raise. This time we're going to stay a few breaths. So clasp your hands on the floor behind you and then open up your palms backwards. So we're pressing the palms back. Stay to exhale here. Soften your knees and your elbows so that we're still in the posture, but we're just relaxed a little bit. And then as you inhale, press with your heels and reach with your hands. And then we'll do that twice more. So exhale, soften your knees and your elbows just a bit. Inhale, press with your heels and reach back with your hands. One more time, please. Exhale, softening the knees and the elbows. Inhale, press and reach. And then as you exhale, release your fingertips, lower down your arms and your legs, and hug your knees towards your chest. And just take a moment here and be still and relax. Notice how your body's feeling. Notice especially your back and your hips. Sometimes we can feel that gentle flow of life energy moving through our body. So just noticing if any of your muscles feel more awake or more alive after some breath-centered movement. All right, and then we're going to do a twist. So I'm going to teach this with one leg out and one knee in. What I will say though is if you're having a lot of tension or like major discomfort in your low back or sacrum today, you can always keep your knees together and twist with both knees at the same time. So yogi's choice. So either knees together or take your left leg out along the floor, keep your right knee hugged in. We'll bring both arms to the floor on either side of us. Let's take an inhale here. We're going to twist to the left side first. We'll do a bunch of twisting on the left and then we'll do the other side. So inhale here, and then as you exhale, tighten the belly muscles. Drop your knee to the left and face the right. And then as you inhale, bring your knee back to center. We'll do this 3 times and then stay for 3 breaths. So exhale, twist to the left and face the right. And then inhale back to center. One more time. Exhale, belly draws in so that we have that sort of support while we guide ourselves into the twist. Bring your knee to the left and face the right. Now this time, you can bring your left hand to rest on your right knee. Roll your head to the right side. Relax a little bit. You should feel a nice stretch, maybe in your low back and hopefully also in the glute and the outer hip and thigh. If it feels okay to bend your knee a little bit more and scoot it closer towards your torso, you can. You might feel a little bit of different stretch there. But let's just relax into it and stay 3 breaths. So just long, smooth inhales, long, smooth exhales. And then once you're done with those 3 breaths, inhale, bring your right knee back to center. And then as you exhale, hug your left knee up towards you as well. And we'll take a rest there. So just take a moment. And then other side. So again, if you're protecting your back and sacrum for whatever reason, keep both knees together. Otherwise, let's hug the left knee in and spread the right leg out along the floor. We'll bring both hands to the ground. As you exhale, twist to the right and face the left. Inhale, coming back to center with your knee and your head. We'll do that twice more. Exhale, twist right and face left. Inhale, back up to center. One more time, exhale. Belly draws in as you twist. We'll kind of settle in there, bringing our right hand to rest on our left knee. Stay about 3 breaths. Head is rolled left. Full inhales and long exhales. And then once you're done with those 3 breaths, take an inhale and come back to center. As you exhale, bring your right knee up to meet your left, wrap your arms around both legs, and just pause for a moment. And then bring your hands to your knees, the tops of your knees, and straighten out your arms so that your knees are kind of stacked right above your hip joint. Take a breath in here. We're going to do our final posture here before we rest. So this is knees to chest pose. So take an inhale. And then as you exhale, bending the elbows, gently draw the knees towards the chest. Feeling your low back gently stretching and sort of pressing towards the ground. Inhale, drop the knees away from you, arm's length. Exhale, gently tightening the belly muscles to engage the exhale as we draw the knees towards our chest. Inhale, let the knees drop away from you, arm's length. And do about 4 more, taking your time. You can even slow down the movement a little bit, especially on exhale, if that feels okay for you right now. Once you're finished, go ahead and wrap your arms around your knees, just another moment. And then when you're ready, begin to spread your legs and arms out along the floor. So just move slowly, coming to your final resting position. Relaxing the arms down with the palms up. Make sure your shoulders aren't kind of shrugged up by your ears. So if you need to slide them down along the floor, you can. Let your legs be nice and heavy. Let your face be soft. Let your belly be relaxed. And take a few deep breaths here. to take some fuller breaths in and longer breaths out, and just bring little movements back. Wiggling fingers and toes or flexing your heels forward. When it feels right for you, begin to bend your knees and plant your feet. And then we'll roll to one side. We'll take our time transitioning as we come back to a comfortable seated position. So I hope this practice has been useful for you. I hope you can feel sort of a renewed sense of integrity in your low back, sacrum, and hips. Thank you so much for joining me today for this yoga practice. I wish you all the best, and I will see you next time.